welcome back to Leaders of Growth, and we're continuing a conversation with Ramesh Nair, MD and CEO at Mindspace REIT. Ramesh, we were talking about feedbacks from tenant, GCCs, data centers. I want to start by talking about all of that. First, let's talk about feedback from tenants. How important is it in today's time, and how does it shape your portfolios or your properties that you're making?
We have a very simple mantra, tenant first always. For us, an NPS score from an occupier tenant is as important as NOI or NDCF numbers. So we track this every 6 months. We go back to tenants. Last time around, out of 177 occupier clients we have, we interviewed 172 of them.
Okay.
And we asked lots of questions. They're kind enough to spend that half an hour, 45 minutes with our market research agency. So lots of things which we have learned, like we went back to clients and asked them, what are the kind of amenities which you need? What are the kind of wellness features which we can provide? What are the improvement areas which we need? And all this gets incorporated in these parks over a period of time. There are always scope for improvement. And I review this on a monthly basis. Are we taking our client feedback seriously? And creating those loops of feedback on a quarterly basis becomes very important for us.
Absolutely. Now let's shift focus and talk about your global capability centers and data centers. Now, whenever I talk to anyone, whether it's on the IT side, service side, data centers, even cap goods side, they talk about data centers. Now, if you are providing the infra for data centers, how does it work for the company? And is it on made to order kind of a basis? Once you get the client, does it work? How does it?
Let's start with data centers and I'll move to global capability centers. Today, we are the only REIT which has 5 data centers in our portfolio. 2 has already been delivered. 3 data centers are under construction as we talk. Where does the data center help us? Today, 5 years back when we listed, our portfolio was very office focused. Today, we're looking at how can we diversify that office portfolio. Data centers was a natural extension. The fact that Navi Mumbai today is India's most sought after data center hub. Close to 55% of the data center capacity which is being built in the country is coming up in Navi Mumbai. And we have this 100 acres in Airoli. So that gave us a big opportunity. Data center clients also give you longer lock-ins, like I said, and also diversify. The other diversification which we looked at is how do we create more hotels within our portfolio? We already have 2 hotels in our portfolio. Looking at how can we again increase that maybe to 4 or 5. That's another strategy we have. Third is how do we create more clubs within our portfolio? In Hyderabad, something what we are creating, it's called the Pearl Club, going to be ready in the next 2-3 months. It's going to be the best club in the country. So that's something which we're doing, and also increasing the F&B, retail, amenities, all that. So different revenue streams, not just the office revenue stream. How do we make rentals out of data centers? How do we make rentals out of hotels? And how do we make rentals out of F&B? So all that comes.
And data centers, obviously, if they're longer term contracts, do they normally give you better returns also, right? Or
it does.
It does. Be, right?
It does.
Versus a normal commercial space.
Like in this market, for example, our office fetches is 70 rupees rental. A data center fetches is more than 100 rupees.
So that's interesting. And obviously, it's not going to be easy to lift up data centers and move around. So that contract, like you said, is longer. And even extensions would come into play. And with all of this for REITs, normally, there will be, how fast is these renewals of rental contracts?
So typically, for an office lease, like I mentioned, lease contracts are 10 years. And for data centers, it's between 20 to 30 years.
Yeah, okay. That's interesting. Ramesh, let's also talk about investors' point of view. What makes REITs a solid bet? Everyone wants to bet on it. Everyone's talking about it. But if you had to sell it to an investor, what is it that makes it good for retail as well as HNI investors?
So, multiple benefits. First is every investor needs to diversify in a world like today. And REITs is a perfect example for an investor to diversify. Second, you get quarterly dividends. So that's your income which you get. Third is more from a transparency point of view. Today, REITs offer the highest governance standards. 5 years, 6 years back, REIT was just a concept. It was an experiment, and the first REIT got listed in April 2019. Today, it's a very stabilized asset class with track records of 5 great REITs, great sponsors behind those REITs. We're again looking at tax benefits. The income which you make as dividends is more or less fully tax-free. That's another big advantage. Liquidity. When REITs first came in, you had to put a minimum of 2 lakhs. Today, you can buy one REIT unit. You can sell a REIT at the press of a button, so it gives you liquidity. There was a time when HNIs, when you would go and buy a floor of an office building, they would go buy an office building somewhere.
True.
Today, the same HNIs and ultra HNIs are coming back and saying, let me buy a REIT. One, because I'm not concentrated in one place.
Yeah.
Let's say I buy one floor of this and this floor gets vacant. Then my income stream stops. But you buy a REIT unit, which is in 4 different cities, in 63 different buildings. So it kind of gets leveled out more even if there is vacancy. From a succession point of view, let's say you own a floor and you were to divide it amongst your 3 children and your wife, how are you going to divide it?
Yeah.
Because once you strata sell, that's a perfect recipe for a disaster. So today, HNIs are realizing, let me put it in a REIT and let me give that from a succession point of view. It helps. And commercial real estate is not so easy. It needs a lot of hands-on management, which REITs like us do. So if one is looking for a product which has the liquidity of the stock markets, which has the governance of a listed company, which has all these benefits, I think one should definitely look at
Absolutely, that's a good bet, and so many points that you've highlighted. Not that I thought about all of it, but for you, are you eyeing any new asset classes that could add down to the REIT, or how does it move down the line now from here?
So, like I said, Vinny, the focus is on office. We are creating more data centers. We are creating more hotels. Let me clarify that when I said data centers and hotels, we are creating the core and shell.
Okay.
The hotel is going to be managed by an expert firm. Interiors are going to be done by a hotel company. Data centers, again, the interiors, all your chips and all your server farms and everything is going to be done by data center experts. We do the core and shell, we give the power, we give the building, and we collect a rent.
But that demand is surely increasing.
That demand is definitely increasing, and given that we have so much land in Navi Mumbai, there are opportunities which would come up in the future for further data centers.
Absolutely. Ramesh, now let's talk about the recent decision that's come in from the SEBI, right, to maybe reclassify REITs as an equity. How does it impact Mindspace? What's your strategy now from here on? How are you viewing this decision overall?
It's a big game changer for us, Vinny. So what this has done is REIT, which is seen as a very niche asset class, has now got into the mainstream. So we are looking at multiple mutual funds who will have REIT InvIT specific products. Today, you look at the REIT and InvIT market. REITs have around 2,25,000 crores of AUM. InvITs have around 7 lakh crores of AUM. That's close 9 lakh plus crores of AUM. If you rewind back 12 years back, this is exactly where the mutual fund industry was. Today, the same mutual fund industry is 75 lakh crore plus. Only 300,000 people invest in Indian REITs even today. The same number for mutual funds is 5.5 crores. So look at the overall REITs, office REITs, you total all their square footage. That's only 165 million square feet. There's close to 500 million square feet of REITable office stock in the country. So these are the big opportunities, and we believe there will be a lot more investors looking at REITs given the equity classification, given that 60% of all mutual funds are equity mutual funds. There would be more liquidity, there would be better price discovery and easier entry access for investors. So all these benefits REITs are going to get in the coming
Obviously, a lot of benefits, and we started the show by talking about returns as well. So that is something that an investor always looks at. But Ramesh, before we wind this down, let's talk about you, because you've been a CEO for a long time. Buy side, sell side, you have a lot of experience, a lot of lessons, a lot of learnings. How are you implementing all of this? What is it that maybe you could impart something to our viewers?
On the sell side, what you learn, Vinny, is your product is your people. If you take care of your people, they do a better job with your clients. They retain the clients, they maintain our properties well, they build better buildings. So that's one. Professionalism is obviously things which you do when no one is looking at you. That again is important. Buy side teaches you to be patient. Buy side teaches you to be disciplined. It teaches you to think more long term, and sell side teaches you to be more client-centric and that sense of urgency. So trying to mix the best of both worlds.
Trying to mix the best of both worlds, but you're surely something that's bringing out very well. So, Ramesh, thank you so much for joining us on Leaders of Growth. It's a great episode. Great to understand REITs, great to understand as an investment perspective where the company is at as well. So, thank you so much for that. And viewers, thank you so much for tuning in to Leaders of Growth on this very special episode with Mindspace REIT. Thanks so much for that.